Hello YouTube land! I'm out here in the shop and I've actually decided that I'm going to throw my hat into the ring of the 5-pound survival kit challenge. Yeah! I have watched all kinds of great videos on this. This was originally started by Chris Tanner over at Prepared Mind 101. It is actually a great little exercise and can really inspire some thought. All kinds of awesome YouTubers have done this challenge. And I'm going to leave a link to a bunch of them below. I probably won't get them all, but I'll put all the ones that I've watched anyway. In any case, let's take a look, see what I got. So when I originally thought of doing this challenge, I was going to show my kit outdoors in the woods on an overnight camp out, but schedules are keeping me from doing that. And before this little challenge or thing that we have going on goes too far out of sight, I wanted to throw my hat into the ring. Now, my original thought, and it would still be a lot of fun, it would be the Leatherman, which I have a TI3 flashlight, I have cordage, I have a ferro rod, I have my knife, I have my saw, I have a bunch of other implements in there that could be very helpful. Water bottle cup, my 12 by 12 tarp that Bruce from Nature Calls made me, a pound of cordage, and basically just covering the five C's. Always have my folding saw. This is like close to my #1 item. But that really isn't a survival kit. That is I'm a manly man and I am roughing it. Really, really roughing it kit. That is a go out and have fun in the woods for a day kit. It doesn't have the items in it that you might need for a survival situation. So I decided to take up the challenge of actually putting together in a backpack items that I own, that I'm familiar with, not that I went out and bought, just because they're lightweight. And I had a lot of fun doing this challenge, so let's take a look at the kit. This is the scale that I'm using. It's very accurate. This is the bag with all its gear. We'll hook this on here so I can get an actual weight. And then we'll just take all the stuff out of it. 4.93, and it fluctuated between 4.93 and 4.96. There it goes. So I'd say we're within 3/100th of a accuracy here. So in any case, I'm just going to go ahead and take the items out, and I'm going to lay them out over here real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit about them. Really good compass. This is in the small zipper pouch at the top. One of those inexpensive hooded ponchos for quick access to rain gear. And what else do I got on the top here? One lifeguard or life gear super mini flashlight. And one very inexpensive, very lightweight button battery style headlamp. Then in the main compartment we have the shemagh. We have my steel PS10 folding saw. I swear by this thing. I opted to go with this knife because of its weight and the fact that it has a neck sheath, which I would put on immediately so I'd never lose it. It also has a built-in ferro rod. This is the Azulu. It's actually an Azulu too, but I took the handles off it a while ago just because it made it way too heavy to wear around the neck. A good bit of cordage. I have 2 6-footers and 3 12-footers. And I have about a 20-foot piece of 36 bank line and a 25-foot piece of number 6 bank line on there. We have our military style poncho. This is an inexpensive, very lightweight Fox tactical one. And I'll take it out real quick. SOL Escape Bivy. This thing is awesome. I love it. Another roll of jute twine. This is about 30 feet or so. Good for cordage, also good for fire, you guys know. And then this is my container aluminum cup I've been using forever, love it, Sawyer Mini, and 2 water bladders. 1 gallon Ziploc baggie, obviously very helpful. And here's the bag. And in this last bag, which is where I started with my survival kit, because these are the items that I would think are most important. Well, depends on how you look at it. Very lightweight gloves. Protect your hands. 2 snack bars, 2 3-in-1 coffees. Because food is important for surviving. A small, a very well thought out first aid kit. That was what I started with. That was piece number 1. A bug head net and a spritzer of bug dope. In my neck of the woods, in the spring, summer, and early fall, you better have this, or else your stay in the survival situation is going to be miserable. TP. And this little piece of gear, which I did a video on over a year ago, which is just chock full of little fun survival items. So these are specific items that I wanted to go over just so you guys know what I have in them as far as the basics go, but also the concept behind them. These items here are the survival in this survival kit. Let's go with number 1, flashlights. You cannot function in the dark without a light. And guess what? If you're in a survival situation, you're going to have to function in the dark. Now, I'm not suggesting that you try and navigate while you're in the dark, but having these tools gives you the option of about 8 more hours of being effective. That is huge in a survival situation. A very good quality compass. A compass that you know is going to be accurate, that can take a licking and keep on ticking. This one also happens to have a magnifying glass that can be used to light fire with... Hey, there's me. And it has a mirror, which is huge if you get something in your eye or you're trying to look, you know, on a place in your body where you can't see with your eyes. Glow in the dark, you know, bezel ring and whatnot. So, again, nighttime capable. You must have water. You can live for a week without food, even though after a few days you're going to be extremely unhappy. But a few days without water and you're up the creek, buddy. So, obviously at the heart of this kit is this aluminum cup. It goes to a Swiss officer's canteen, older style. Obviously you can tell it's well loved. You can boil 2 cups of water in this. Not a huge cup, but lightweight, very effective, very comfortable. I trust it. The Sawyer Mini. Okay, enough said. Actually, there's not enough said. The bag that came with my Sawyer Mini, after 2, 3 good outings where I used it a lot, the bag ruptured. Be warned of that. This is also from Walmart. This is what I call the dirty bag. I use this for my bag for the Sawyer now. I did have to cut down the threads. This right here extended up like a 1/4 inch and it wouldn't screw onto the Sawyer very tight, so I cut this off and then I sanded it down so it was perfectly flat and watertight. So that is my main squeeze bag. And then right here I just have a 16-ounce bottle rolled up that I will put my clean water into. In addition, we also had this 1 gallon bag, and if I found a good water source, I might take the time to fill this up, fill this up, fill this up, leave the filter screwed on it or whatever, as you know, still being dirty water. But then I have an oodle of water that I know I can travel over a great distance, and this will sustain me. So these last 2 items are probably the most important in the kit. First, let's talk about a first aid kit. Now, I am not a first aid expert. I know it's an area in which I need to get better at. I've passed a basic CPR class. I've taken first aid through my high school and some first aid for my job. But, you know, I'm not a paramedic, all right? I'm not 39 Camper. I'm not Jacko. I'm not going to try and put stitches in or something crazy out in the woods. So this kit has the basics. Let's just take a quick look. Now, one thing I wanted to mention. Painkillers. They're not painkillers, but they're Benadryls, Rolaids, and Aleve, which will help with the swelling and headaches and all that fun stuff. Again, in a Ziploc baggie. Something else that I don't see in a lot of first aid kits, but was kind of taught to me at a very young age, is always have some hard candies in your first aid kit. There are people who, you know, can go into you know, a kind of a diabetic situation unless they get sugar. But these little sugar peps will just help your overall being in that survival scenario. It might help take your mind off the situation, if nothing else. Of course, we have alcohol prep pads and antiseptics. We have enough for 4 liters of water. Purification, we have all kinds of Band-Aids. We have gauze pads. We have pressure pad thingies. We have a toothbrush. What else do I got back there? Oh, and some of those toothpicks. Some tape. Some Gorilla Tape, which you can wrap around yourself extremely tightly or hold compression on with bandages. Then you got all your various itch creams and more antiseptic towelettes, alcohol prep pads. I have earplugs in there too, just because it's something I like to have. So this guy right here is pretty awesome. I showed this kit about a year ago, and you can buy this kit from SOL. It doesn't have all the items in it that I have stuffed in it. To start off, we have a big old sail needle in the back, taped to it, and we have a cloth, you know, high visibility bandana. It's a waterproof container. That's important. Right off the get-go, 1 quart Ziploc baggie. Any guesses as to what that's for? A super duper extra loud slim rescue howler whistle. That sucker is a signal whistle, man. Wow, that thing's loud. I have about 35 feet of nylon cordage. Again, a little redundancy never hurt. I have a Bic lighter, if I can get it out of here. Urgh. Trying to do this, keeping it all in camera. Bic lighter wrapped with about 4 feet of high visibility duct tape. Alright, I'm going to shake this sucker. Button compass. That actually works. If you put a button compass into your kit, make sure you test it to make sure that it is somewhat accurate. I mean, it's only a button compass, but I've had them that just, they read completely wrong. And that's not good. Chapstick. Multi-purpose item. This is one of those really high quality SOL space blankets. This is really good quality. There's no comparing this to those shiny little silver ones. 6 liters worth of water purification tablets. An additional 6 feet of high visibility duct tape. Some quick tinders, which if you smudge a little bit of that chapstick on, lasts for a really long time. This little fishing kit that they give you is kind of chintzy. I put 1 larger hook in here, 2 larger sinkers in addition to what was already in there, and I replaced the line with a higher quality line. There's a sewing needle in here, 4 safety pins. So, I mean, that's a nice little package right there. The old little Swiss Army knife. This is the one with the scissors, the file, the blade, the toothpick, and most importantly, the tweezers. The little sparker to light the quick tinders if your lighter isn't working for some reason. And of course, your little signal mirror, which also gives you the ability to, you know, do first aid on your eye. So I know these videos aren't the most exciting thing, but I'm very glad that I did challenge myself and not just kind of take the easy way out with the 5 basic C's, which I know and love. I just think that the 5C type thing is more of a going out and challenging yourself and enjoying your time in the woods, whereas in a survival kit, you actually do want to have some items. And you want to have items that you have used, have experience with, that you trust, that you know are going to work for you. The only thing that I would caution against is, you know, this is a challenge to keep it under 5 pounds, but if you were to make this kit 7 pounds, boy, you could have a lot more awesome items in there. One of the deficiencies in this kit is that this is more of a late spring, summer, early fall, not a lot of things in there to keep you warm type of kit. You know, Kullcraven on his, he added a fleece blanket. That took up a lot of his weight, but that fleece blanket is going to come in really handy when the weather gets colder. Also, Michael, the Bearded Clam, did one of these, and he had a very cool, it's kind of like an insert that you put into your sleeping bag that adds a great amount of heat. You know, this works great. I have used this now maybe about 10 times, but you know, when the weather starts dipping below 40 degrees, you better be under a big old pile of leaves, or else you're going to be shivering all night long. You're not going to sleep a wink. So maybe you guys could throw me some pointers, maybe point out any other deficiencies in my mind. I have all the things that I would need with my skill set to survive, you know, getting lost. I'm thinking that this kit would be optimal for maybe like the back of an ATV, or you know, like a day hike kit or something. I mean, it seems a little excessive for a day hike, but it only weighs 5 pounds. Anyway, thank you, Chris, from Premier Vine 101 for you know, doing that video that has inspired so many of us to take this challenge. I had a lot of fun doing it. Hope you guys rock on. Get out there, enjoy the woods, have some fun. I'll see you on the trail.